Welcome back everybody to another pomade review, and today we'll be taking a look at a new pomade that just hit the market not too long ago. And our pomade for today is an unorthodox water-based pomade. It's Cub & Co. original pomade, the firm mold version to be exact. Cub & Co. is a relatively new homebrew company that's based in Tasmania, that's in Australia. And I was really hyped the moment these products hit the European market, and I snagged the firm hold right away. And this is the Sauvage scent. I really like that particular cologne, so that's why I picked it out. I picked out that scent, and I don't exactly remember how many scent options there are, but Sauvage is the one that appealed to me the most. So it comes in a simple but a very modern looking design, just a sleek black plastic jar with a gray lid. You have the ingredients packed full of healthy ingredients over here, of course, as expected from a homebrew company, on the left side, and on the right side you have directions of use as well as a brief description of the product and the company itself. This is advertised to be a firm hold with a natural shine, and somewhere in the directions over here it says that it's labeled as a medium hold, but if you require a firmer hold, then somebody put another scoop. Labeled as medium hold, well, this is actually the firm. I don't know whether this is a typo or if Brad, he's the guy behind, the brewer, the owner behind Cub & Co. I don't know whether he put that in there as some kind of implication that it might not be a firm hold to all hair types, but whatever it is, this is not something to nitpick on. Now, opening up, you would see a smooth product that looks like a really thick lotion with a pretty glossy consistency, which is not what you would really expect with a natural shine product. But on the website, it is advertised to be between a natural to medium shine. So, again, not something to nitpick on. The scent is really light and subtle, and in case you don't know what Sauvage smells like, it's a very masculine cologne that gives initial citrusy vibes, but eventually it gives more of like a woody and slightly sweet scent, and I absolutely love it. Now scooping it out is very, very creamy, no problem whatsoever. It feels really light, but you can still feel some thickness and tackiness to it, but it's a very, very wet product. Scooping it down again, no problem. You would see some gloss in your hands. This, I can tell this has a pretty high water ratio in there. Applying to the hair, again, it's really no problem. It almost feels like you're applying something like between a light medium, but you would start to feel a little more it feels very watery, but just slightly, you can feel a bit of the wax resistance in there. I wouldn't call it a tug whatsoever because it goes in really easily. For a second scoop, see, it breaks down like absolutely nothing. Very, very well emulsified here. And the scent is pretty subtle, and you can't smell it throughout the rest of the day, which is great because if you want to splash on some aftershave or some cologne, it shouldn't really interfere with that. But if you're using Sauvage, of course, it very well complements the whole thing. So you can tell slickness is definitely a given. I'm getting some really tight sides over here, and I'm going to see some shine, like a medium shine. To be fair, I applied it on damp hair, not really a dry. I'm not in team dry hair. But this is advertised to be a natural to medium shine, so I guess that depends on how you applied it. Maybe it'll give more of a lower natural sheen, but I'm guessing it'll probably give more of a low shine than a natural shine once you apply it fresh in your hair, given that it's such a wet product when you initially scoop it out. Now slicking it back is absolutely no problem as well. I apply more to the sides I normally do, so it feels a little more resistant there compared to the top and the hair. There is a slight, I wouldn't say a dry resistance, but you would feel a slight, I wouldn't say texturey, not gritty, but I can just feel the resistance, a bit of the resistance from the wax, but it's nothing too crazy whatsoever, no tug and pull. But as you comb it even more, this resistance becomes a little more apparent as the water is more evenly distributed throughout the hair. Still easy to comb through though. So you can see how well it shows the comb lines. Just forming my part right now, which is really simple to do. The control in this one, you would expect a little bit of a lightweight control given how smooth and creamy this product just scoops out. But the control is definitely more than what you would expect if you just judge it by the texture. Shower doors interfering. Definitely there's a good amount of control over there. And the product feels, of course, as you'd expect, really lightweight in the hair. So therefore it's able to give me a really good round shape. And a bit of height. Slightly above average height at most, but I'm getting an average height right now. And you can tell I'm pretty much done with my pomp, and styling with this is really easy and really quick. It's like a slightly creamy but waxy control in there. But it's definitely not a brittle control. It's definitely not the kind of control where it gets, it just breaks off in the middle of styling. Because some creamier products are just a little like that. And as you can tell, I actually have I would say this is slightly above average in height with really tight sides. I'm getting a very round palm right now. My palm looks absolutely incredible. I just like the way I style with this. And I'll give you a look of what my pompadour looks like right now. You can see there's actually somewhat of a sheen. But to be fair, I just applied a fresh and a damp hair, so that there's sort of like a medium shine going on right now. I used like 2.5 scoops. Very forward in shape. And as you know, that I really like my pompadours rounded forwards. This definitely gives me adequate control, great control actually, in order to get the shape that I really want. Because if a pomade has good control, it's able to provide me with a really nice and round shape of my pompadour, as it does right now. And as it settles throughout the day, well, this is labeled as a firm hold. As for me, there is a firming effect with this pomade. I mean, it's not like a crunchy gel type, but you just feel very slight hardening. That's probably the work of the emulsifiers in this pomade right here. A little more hardening than I would actually expect, and more than an average unorthodox water-based pomade, but it's definitely not at the gel type pomade, not up to orthodox water-based pomade levels. It is not a crunchy, bad for your hair kind of firming up. It just kind of firms up a little more than I would expect from an unorthodox water-based pomade, but I don't really have a problem with that, because at the end of the day, when I wash the product out of my hair, it doesn't feel like absolute crap. I mean, if anything, it does. I would also notice the more hydrating effects, especially their ingredients like candelilla wax, which is one of those waxes that hydrate your scalp. And there's grapeseed oil in there. What else do they have in there? There's jojoba oil, as we all know, is one of the greatest carrier oils for hair you can find. So this is packed full of healthy ingredients. There's nothing to dry it out, even though sometimes, to some of you, in case you don't really like the firming up effect, it might feel that way, but it absolutely doesn't do anything to harm the hair of your health. If anything, it improves it even more. And it does because of this slightly hardened up, slightly firming up sensation, it does maintain a pretty consistent hold throughout the day. While it does not really feel like an oil-based, of course, because of this firming up effect, it does get me throughout the day with, well, a good portion of the day with a true firm hold. And I don't really notice any flopping whatsoever, but sometimes I just notice a little bit of a gap between my palm after, say, 7 hours throughout the day. But to be fair, this is a product that don't even have to recomb at all. And speaking of recombing, actually, I prefer not to recomb this dry, actually, because due to the firming up effect, it's not like you're recombing a water-based gel type or anything, but it's just that once the firming up actually settles in your hair, the wax effect of the pomade becomes even more pronounced, so that it feels a little more dry and slightly tackier as I recomb it. It's a pretty sticky recomb. It's even stickier than when I first applied it in my hair, when more of the water itself is just pronounced. And the shine, I don't really need to recomb anyway, so it's a good thing I really have to recomb it, because honestly, I'm not a huge fan of recombing this particular product once it's my hair. But as the water effects become less pronounced throughout the course of the day, you expect the shine would get lower as well. It became more of a lower shine, but I still notice somewhat of a gloss. But unless I sleep with this in my hair, the next day it pretty much turns into a natural shine. But I've never applied this dry hair, so we can't really tell you the complete story of a dry hair right now. But I'm guessing it'll probably give a low shine that'll eventually go down to a natural throughout the day. But what I do really like about how Brad described the pomade in his website, he said it'll give a natural to medium shine. And in the description, he said the label is medium, but might give a firmer hold. Like I said, I don't know whether it's a typo or not, but given this very flexible and broad description of the pomade, it allows us reviewers of different hair types to fit in with this description even more. And thus, he definitely understands that it doesn't, products work according to different circumstances, according to the user, of how you apply it to your hair, as well as the natural condition of your hair. Your hair might be naturally dry or naturally shiny, as well as, of course, obviously your hair type. So it might turn out to be a medium hold at first, but eventually get to a firm hold, or it might just be a firm hold right away. Like for me, you just gotta wait for it to firm up a little bit, which actually doesn't take a long time. But even as it firms up, after the initial application, as you can see, it's not like the harsh recomb after a couple of hours in. You can still, after a few minutes, even though it firms up, you can still make some slight adjustments if you want to, and it doesn't really feel that uncomfortable. But to me, it's just a tad uncomfortable if I need to recomb it throughout the course of the day. And washing the product out, because the product is so well emulsified, it washed out pretty squeaky clean out of my hair after one wash with shampoo, one round of shampoo. So with that being said, this is a pretty different unorthodox water-based pomade. It's kind of a different experience for me, but overall I would say it is a pretty amazing product, and I absolutely love it. It's so creamy, it's really lightweight, and it really does provide amazing styling performance. I can get the amazing shape of my pompadour. When the firming up is not really a problem for me, but the main problem I get is just I didn't really feel comfortable with recombing it throughout the course of the day. But the good thing is I don't really have to recomb it, because the hold, at least in my hair, is a true firm. And it is very sensible of Brad to make that particular caption on the description of his pomade to range somewhere between a medium to firm for in the detailed description of the product, despite being advertised as firm hold and the shine varying between a natural to a medium, because you really see a lot of people advertising their products saying that their shine can actually vary when it really does. I mean, as for me, I never really see a natural shine out of this pomade unless I leave it in for like at least a day. I just go to sleep with this product in my hair and just wake up the next day with the product, the same amount of product still in. And this product is absolutely not greasy at all if you're worried about that. It's just a really, really clean product. And overall, this is a pretty amazing pomade, and it's quite different, but I really enjoyed the experience with it. So this is definitely a must try. And that's all I pretty much have to say for today's review. And if you enjoyed this review of Cub & Co.'s original Firm Hold pomade, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon so you don't miss a single upload of Squinty Show, and I'll see you next time on The Squinty Show.